Hi, welcome to the 15 Minutes Podcast with Accasia Hanson from Top Talents Promotions Australia, featuring the best of independent music worldwide. Be sure to subscribe and stay blessed. Hi, welcome to the 15 Minutes Podcast with Accasia Hanson by Top Talents Promotions. Today, we have the lovely and beautiful Luna Collins. I'm a big fan and I just want to know how you are today.
I'm doing really well, Acacia. I'm really glad to be here. It's
Oh,
nice
that's
and
beautiful.
early, so I've got my cup of tea, but I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, just so that everybody gets to know you a little bit, can you start a bit? Can you let us know a bit about yourself and your musical background?
Sure. Yeah. I grew up only wanting to do music in my life. That was exactly what I wanted to do, even from the time I was just really tiny. My dad used to sing with me all the time. He sang around the house, he sang in the garden, he sang everywhere. And what he taught me is that you burst into song anytime you want to. That was what I got from my dad. So
Yeah.
from a very, very early age, all I did was want to sing. And I remember I grew up in San Francisco, California. And during the time that I was very small, I spent a lot of time on those iconic cable cars. You know, the
Okay.
cable cars
Okay.
go way up those really steep hills.
Oh yeah, like
And
sometimes I'm snowing like in the mountains. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, oh,
Yep.
but they're on the ground. They're on cables, and it's like a streetcar, only it's
Okay. Okay.
literally set by cables. And they were just part of my life. I didn't think of them as a tourist attraction, but when I was before I was 3, I remember this one really vivid memory of being on the cable car, and I said, I'm looking around at the people who are sitting in the chairs and everything, and I'm thinking, it's about time I started to sing. So I would sing and do a little dance and on the cable cars, and people thought I was there like as a performer. So I was very, very small, and they would put money into my hand. So that was my first paid gig, was singing on the cable cars. So, and
Nice.
these were just like the little songs of the day, like, Bicycle Built for Two, the old, old, old standards.
Yeah.
So it was, I just thought this is what you do. It took me
Mhm.
quite a long time to realize that wasn't everybody's experience.
Everybody's doing this.
It's like, wait a minute, nobody else is singing on the cable cars. But it took me a long time to realize that. So it just was in me. It was just in me to do that. So
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Um, you sort of answered a lot of the answers for this question, but to round it up a little bit, what exactly made you want to become a musician? I guess at this stage, like you're doing it for fun as a kid, but what made you become the musician you are today?
the Beatles,
The
it was definitely the
Beatles.
Beatles. Yeah.
Okay, they
Because
inspired you.
they totally inspired me. The first time I ever saw them was, the usual thing that people my age saw, which was the Ed Sullivan Show, where they appeared for the first time for millions of Americans. And when I saw them on that, I thought, this is the best music ever for me. It's for my generation. It speaks to me. They were really good looking. They sang in these really cool accents.
Yeah,
They they played really cool music and had a great beat. And I thought, that's it.
that's what I
I
want.
want to do that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Um, What accomplishments do you see yourself doing in the next, or want to see happen in the next 5 to 10 years, as far as a musician?
Yeah, I'm well, because I'm a little on the older side. I take each day as it comes.
Comes, yeah,
I don't project too far into the future, although, I do have some things I want to accomplish. First of
probably.
all, I'm putting out an LP
Oh,
in
beautiful.
this next year. So sometime in the next year, I should have a full LP, and I am going to try and put it on vinyl, which I love vinyl.
And to remind me, what how many tracks does an LP have?
Well, it's these days it's sort of up to people and how long the songs
How
are,
it
but
could be 21 tracks if you want. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I would go for probably about 9 tracks. I think
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
that would be about the amount that I'd want to put together as a package, you know,
Mm.
and that's just a beginning to me. I just want to start with that, and
Expanding.
then I also
Mm.
want to have some music put into film.
Mhm.
I think that sort of that's an iconic thing to accomplish. You know,
Yeah.
when there's a film and your music is part of the
Setting the
feeling of
mood,
the
setting the
film.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would really like to do that, and I the other thing that I really want to do at any point in time is do more collaboration with other artists,
Eyes. Yeah.
and I have some things in the works already. So I would I would really love to work together with some of my favorite musicians. So
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Um oh, like describe this might be a bit hard, but there's so many different ways that people make music, but describe what process you use when it comes to making new music.
yeah, it's I'm I'm pretty typical in a lot of ways. I'm inspired by everyday life to make a song. So the
Yeah, yeah.
first thing is, you know, I write about things that I see or things that I observe or things that I know, things that I'm going through.
And you do
Sometimes,
that just all in your head without a beat or music?
well, sometimes the beat is me walking. Um,
Okay, okay.
as you're walking down the street and you have a beat,
Yeah,
sometimes that inspires something to come. I'm inspired also by, surprisingly, things like fans and drone sounds,
yeah,
where in my mind I can hear melodies over that.
yeah.
So when I remember being a kid and my parents wondering why I was so keen to do the hoovering, to do the vacuuming of the house. And it's because I loved the sound of the
Wow.
vacuum drone, and
Mm,
that drone would make me sing over it, and I'd get all kinds of melody ideas.
mm,
So I can get song bits and pieces together in so many different ways. A
yeah.
lot of times a title of a song will come to me, somebody will say something and think, oh, that's a perfect title of a song. So now what's that song about? So here's the title. I've got a
Yeah.
title. What is
So,
this song about?
yeah,
And then I'll work from that. So
yeah. So after you've got the conception of the idea, do you just go straight into the studio or
I
perform
just sit
or
I sit with the piano, me and
yeah,
the piano and my voice, and that's
yeah,
all
that's
the
what you
songs.
need. That's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
just play around with chords, patterns, and what I like, and
Yeah.
melodies that I like, and see what works. And you know, it's like a at that point, it's sort of that's the real writing process
Vision,
for me.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
mm,
And then
mm.
I flesh it out. Sometimes I flesh it out a bit and I leave it for a while just so I can see, do I really like that? Come
Yeah,
back to it and go, hey, that's pretty good. Or, oh, no, 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 no,
yeah,
no, that should go there.
yeah,
So it gives me a little bit of perspective. But yeah, it's pretty much that's pretty much how I always flesh out the music.
yeah, beautiful. Um, okay, this is a harder question too because there's so many brilliant musicians. What musician would you love to collaborate with?
Oh, well, see, that's really hard. It is a hard one because
Yeah,
there are so many that
Lynn.
I love. Um, you know, right off the top of my head, and this is something that I'm really hoping will happen, is that I really want to collaborate with Vince Maloney, a
Okay.
guitarist who is originally from Australia.
Is it?
Um, yeah, but lives in the UK now. He was the original guitarist with the band that people know as the Bee Gees, but
Oh
the
yeah, I
Bee
know
Gees
them. Yeah, Staying Alive, Bee
before
Gees.
before that though, he was
Oh,
with them
okay,
before.
okay,
So he was
okay,
with
okay.
them in they were five Bee Gees in London, and they created a different sound than the Staying Alive sound. This is like they were contemporaries with like the Beatles and the Who and the Stones and all of that. And they had a kind of a little bit of a psychedelic edge to them. And that part of their music is just so inspiring. It's so good. The
Yeah.
songwriting is really good, but
Yeah.
Vince's guitar work is just out of this world.
Yeah.
And so in my head, in some of my songs, I can really hear where he would be the perfect person to put that guitar on. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I also have to give a mention to a fabulous woman. She's a producer, a songwriter, and an incredible guitarist in her own right. And her name is Carla Olson. And Carla
Okay.
is just, she's on fire. She's got new tracks coming out all the time, and she does these incredible collaborations, but she is so inspiring. I'd love to work with her.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, which skills have you developed to perform effectively as a musician? Like as far as like, I suppose, do you get anxiety and do you have like a meditation that you do before you go on stage, or how do you conquer that moment?
Well, I think there's always a little bit of anxiety, which is kind of healthy. You don't want to be too blasé because then I think you're just dialing in your performance.
Yeah,
But I have a little bit of, sort of an energy surge. But because all the years that I've been doing what I do, it it's just sort of kicks in automatically that I know all I have to do is breathe. And
yeah.
breathing is my, just take
Mm,
some nice deep breaths and let them out slowly. And kind of as you focus on the breath, you realize nothing else is really quite as important
but
as
that
that at
breath,
the moment. Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, yeah. So we're coming up to the end of the interview. Is there anything that you want people to remember, or is there any? You've already mentioned that you're working on releasing an LP. Is there any like things that you want people to remember where they can find you, or just a nice way to wrap it up?
Sure. Well, I'm on all the platforms,
Yeah,
it's very easy to find me. I'm Luna
yeah.
Collins Music on Spotify and Amazon Music and YouTube. I have my own
And Apple
dedicated
Music.
YouTube
Yeah,
and Apple Music, and I'm even on things that I'm not even that sure of what they are, like
yeah,
Deezer, and
yeah, yeah.
I'm on.
Audio Mac and SoundCloud, and yeah, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
You're on every major digital platform. Yeah,
Yes, I'm
yeah,
on all of those things. And so, like I said, it's pretty easy to find me.
yeah.
Um, I like people to go to my YouTube channel because that's where you can see my lyric videos. And
Okay.
so those
Yeah.
those are, I think, where I'd love
Yeah.
people to be able to get the experience of the music, also see what the lyrics are saying, and also
And
get a
more
visual.
interactive, more connection. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you very much for sitting here with me today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a real
Yeah.
pleasure.
You're
And
most
I'm a big
welcome.
fan of yours as well. So one of these days we should switch roles and I'll do the podcast on you.
Yeah, yeah. And you give me some singing lessons and some breath work lessons.
We can always learn from each other all the
Yeah.
time.
Blessings. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Wandering boy, playful heart, minstrel soul sings amongst the ruins. Left behind, she's put away. Girl's heart aches, wondering what